Next in the convoy of excursion trains comes Crab 42727, towing a rake of elderly coaching stock, including some non-corridor vehicles. This loco turned out to be one of the last two Crabs to remain in service. It was withdrawn in January 1967 and was scrapped 5 months later. The use of non-corridor stock helped to reduce station waiting times, as each compartment had its own external door. One of the pilot locomotives permanently based at the works was Aspinall Class 2F saddle tank 11305. By then, one of very few survivors of a class that was first introduced in 1891. Fortunately, St Helens Road in those days was rather less busy with road traffic than it is today, and it wasn't considered necessary to have gates or any other kind of protection, apart from a man with his flag. The shunting at Daubhill was primitive, with no pilot locomotive on hand to assist. Half an hour later, the loaded wagons would have been exchanged for empty ones, and they operated two separate terminals on the Heap Bridge branch, one on each side of the A58 road, and the Peckets were allowed to run over BR tracks between them. Soon the days of industrial steam at Heap Bridge would be over, but two of the resident saddle tanks would be rescued for preservation. It also recorded the less glamorous local goods workings, many of which would die out within a few years as the beaching cuts began to bite. This sequence shows the Broadfield pilot loco, 44736, arriving at Heywood with a trip working from Broadfield. It's unusual to see a loose coupled wagon marshalled behind the guard's van. Presumably this was allowed because of the short distance covered on the main line. Looking the other way, a Ministry of Supply Class 8 approaches Green Lane with a hefty trainload of empty mineral wagons, no doubt returning to the Yorkshire coalfield from one of the South Lancs power stations. The same loco again, entering Castleton station with the 435 from Rochdale to Blackpool. 45077 had been delivered new to the LNS in 1935 and would remain in stock until August 1965. 42626 departs from Castleton with the two Rochdale coaches that had been detached at Bolton from a Blackpool to Victoria express.